Well, I'm here with my 3 remaining boys, Jack, Wash and Jim, and it's coming up for our 3rd anniversary on YouTube, and we were supposed to be having a really special video this week, but unfortunately due to losing 2 rats, Jacob and Mary, we just haven't had a chance to finish it. So I'm just doing a little health update. Jack's been a little bit naughty because we lost our alpha male Jacob, and now Jack and Jim both want to be the boss. So they're being a little bit naughty. I'm not sure how this is going to work out with Jack. I just hope that he'll calm down. I just really don't know what's going to go on here, because I'm trying to get Jack back in full time with the others, especially now there's only 3 of them left. They're rattling around in that big cage all on their own. Come on, Jack. Come on, Troublesome. Jack. Good boy. So it'd be really, really great to get him back in with the others all the time. You can see he's perfectly active. His breathing noises are absolutely terrible, but nothing to worry about at the moment. It's possibly the scar tissue from many different infections, but I'm not worried at the moment that he has tumours like Jacob and the others. You come to the darkest corner of the room, boys. Darkest corner of the room. Yeah, so it's been a terribly traumatic week, and I just don't really know what to say. This is the problem when you have so many rats of the same age. We knew this would happen, but we really, really did not expect to lose the boys before their 2nd birthday. I mean, that is just horrible. But you can see the boys that we've got left. Jim is relatively healthy. Both Jim and Wash have been on antibiotics this week. Jack, do you see that kicking? He's really, really naughty. Jack, oi, don't kick Jack. No, oh, boys, stop it. Stop. I'm going to take you away. Jack. Okay, Jim. This is what I have to put up with these boys. Be good. And I'm handheld because they won't stay in one place. You two be nice. You're brothers. You get on well. I don't know how much of this is going to come out because I have to keep protecting my toes. You are just a naughty man. Leave him alone. So poor Jacob, he was not looking too good. Just a couple of weeks ago we went to the vet, and the vet said it's probably scar tissue in his lungs making his breathing look laboured, but he couldn't hear anything wrong with his heart or anything. So we brought him home, and then earlier this week, on the 11th, I just looked at him and I just thought, you're not right, there's something wrong, you really have to work on instinct. And I just took him to the vet, to the emergency appointment, lucky enough to see the vet that we saw with Toby, and he agreed with me. He said, no, although he looks okay, you know him better than I do, and because I had this gut feeling something was wrong, we had him put to sleep, and it was really quite bad, because we're so glad we did, because after he'd passed, loads and loads of fluid came out of his lungs, and the vet actually said, be good. He didn't say be good, I'm just saying be good to them. He said he's surprised he was even managing to get any oxygen in. He was such a brave boy, and he wasn't showing any signs of distress. It was just looking into his eyes, I just knew something was not right. So, the vet was very good with him, and he cleaned him up, and we took him home. And then the very next day we got up, and Mary wasn't too good. So I thought, well, he's had lots of respiratory problems. He's probably got another one starting. I'll give him some antibiotics and see how he goes through the day. And I was quite concerned about him in the morning because he just seemed a bit lethargic, but he didn't have any porphyrin or anything. And he took some berry weight up with his medicines, and I kept an eye on him. And then about 4 in the afternoon, I thought he'd picked up a bit, and I thought, okay, we'll give him another day and see how he goes. And I was checking him every hour, and I went to check him at 5 o'clock, and he was sleeping really peacefully, and he wasn't making any horrible breathing noises. His breathing was quite even and relaxed. So I just stroked his back, and he didn't really respond. Wash, chewing my feet. He didn't really respond at all, and I thought, okay, he's in a really deep sleep, and I'd only stroked him really gently, and I could see his breathing was fine. So I left him, and I came back at 6, and he was still asleep, and I talked to him, and I talked to the others, and I left him again, and I thought, got to 7, and I thought, well, he's been there for a couple of hours, I really just need to make sure he is okay. And between visiting him at 6 and visiting him at 7, he'd passed away in his sleep. And so that was a shock, because that was really, really unexpected, that he would just suddenly go in his sleep like that. And I picked him up, and it was just so sad, because he's a mini Pippin. He's Pippin's younger brother. He's a mini Pippin. He looks like Pippin. He was nervous like Pippin when we got him. And he just looks so much like Pippin. So I picked him up, and he looked absolutely fine. His eyes were closed. He was very relaxed. There's no porphyrin. Nothing had come out of his lungs. He'd just peacefully gone to sleep and just passed away. So we guess it was probably his heart. And it was just so incredibly sad to pick him up and just cuddle him. And I was upset because I hadn't given him a cuddle at 4, but I later spoke to my friend Sue, and she said, you know, it's probably just as well you didn't pick him up. He knew you were there, you'd spoken to him, you touched his back, but she said he was just in the process of peacefully just fading away, and to have picked him up would have disturbed that process. So, you know, if he'd been in distress or anything, obviously we would have done something. But yeah, he just went, and it's just really sad, and losing two days running. It's happened to us before with Chloe and her mum Dawn. And just see what Jack's up to. Jack, no jumping on anybody. You're right, little wash man. They're being relatively good. Yes. So it was just a really, really upsetting the whole thing. And we're down to 14 rats. Yeah, Hamish is very upset because of losing Merry, who's his best friend. So Merry wasn't the cuddliest of rats. The only time he let me really cuddle him was when he was ill, so I knew he wasn't feeling too good in the morning. And we've got Hamish is on antibiotics. He's immediately got stressed up, porphyrin and breathing problems. Wash is on antibiotics as well, and also Jim, because after Jacob died they got all stressed out. We're hoping that this is not going to affect Wash's diabetes, because he had a real setback when we lost Pippin. But just wanted to show you that these boys are together. Jack isn't on his own all the time. I do film with him on his own sometimes. He has calmed down an awful lot, and it's so nice to have them together. And I think it's really, really important that we can try and get Jack back in at night with his brothers, because now there is only 3 of them as well. I'm worried if something happens to one of the others, and then I'll have like 2 rats on their own. And obviously you do end up with the lone rat eventually out of a group. There's always going to be one left at the end. And I wouldn't introduce another young rat to a very, very old rat, but obviously these rats are all dying so young. It has been really upsetting. None of them so far have got to the 2nd birthday, and the 2nd birthday is not till August. Jack, stop doing that. He's just starting to puff up, and he's pushing Wash. Are you all right, Wash? He's such a gentle, gentle boy. So yes, there we go. We're from 4 down to 3, and none of them 2 yet. So that is really, really upsetting. And I don't know what else I can really say. Just we're just taking each day at a time. I have got to the stage where I wonder who next. Emotionally, it's very, very draining, and obviously time consuming, because we're consoling rats who've lost their siblings. Jack's doing quite a bit of scratching. I think I might have to do a mite treatment. Jack, stop that naughty jumping. Jack. Oh, Jack, he's so naughty. I've always said rats aren't naughty, but this is the first rat I've had that I can tell you he is naughty. Yes, now my daughter will disagree with me, but I'm saying this is a naughty little rat. Look at Wash's little face. He is so gentle. Jack, Yeah, now he's puffing up. Oh dear. They are a bit naughty, but I must admit, you know, I know why people were worried about Jack, but he is so active. He's eating really well. At night time, he's on the sofa with me. He jumps all over the sofa. He jumped from my knee to my shoulder, from my shoulder to the back of the sofa. Back of the sofa's all safe for him. He can't fall down the back, so he runs up and down the back of the sofa, back to my shoulder, onto my knee. He's just got so much energy that, although he sounds terrible, he wasn't actually as sick as Jacob was. So it just goes back again to me telling you to know what your rats are like. And really, you have to work on instinct. If you take your rat to the vet and the vet goes, oh no, there's nothing wrong with them, and you know something's not right, then persist. It's fine to say, no, I think there's something wrong with my rat, or, you know, I want to... some sort of treatment options, or to try something, because you know your rat so much better than anybody else does. So that's me and my boys, and the special video that we were working on, I just haven't been able to finish it. Oh no, stop boys, stop chasing Jack. There we go. Jack just can't behave for too long. This is what I'm putting up with. So sorry about the camera going everywhere. I think it's time that we ended playtime for now. They are a bit out of sorts at the moment because of losing the brothers. But if you feel there's a problem and the vet, you know, thinks there isn't, it's fine to say, oh no, have you got your foot caught on there? Oh, sit still. But suppose sort your foot out. Okay, you stay there a minute, Jim. I'll put the camera down. It's absolutely fine to say, I think there's a problem. So just do what you feel you need to do and persist. If you know there is a serious problem with your rat because your rat's behaviour or the look in their eye, then go back to the vet and ask again. But that's me and my 3 little boys. Can't believe I've lost 4 of them already. And we'll be back soon.